Hey guys, so it's been a couple of days. I've worked on the evolution simulator for about 1 to 2 hours each day. So total about 6 hours of work done on the evolution simulator. Let's go ahead and check out the improvements that I've made. So as usual, I started out by writing some tasks that I wanted to accomplish for this iteration. I wanted to create a GUI that I could use to interact with the simulation. For now, I just wanted to be able to create creatures using the GUI and also modify some of the parameters of the environment, such as the food spawn rate. So first, I started by drawing the GUI in draw.io, which is a web program like Visio. Very easy to use, and I highly recommend it. Then I went ahead and created the actual GUI in Godot, which by the way is the game engine that I'm using to create this evolution simulator. Next, I went ahead and started programming the GUI. And here is the finished GUI. So as you can see, I can type in mass, radius, and then the number of creatures that I want to create. And when I click that button, the creatures spawn right there. And now I'm going to create really big creatures. I created 4 massive creatures. So this is just to show that the GUI works, and I crashed. More on this later. And I continued to work on the GUI for about another hour. It's very boring, but I was basically fixing and tweaking little things here and there. I won't show you that, but I will show you this little clip of me playing with the improved GUI. Here I'm basically spawning first a bunch of bigger creatures, and then later on, as you can see, I start spawning the smaller, less massive creatures. So if you recall, the less massive creatures are the darker colored ones. You'll see that after a while, the less massive creatures in this particular environment, they start dominating because this environment suits them better. Next, I wanted to make the world bigger. I wanted the camera to be pannable, and I also wanted to fix a bug that caused me to crash, which you may have seen earlier. And here are the results. Now that I had panning working, I wanted to incorporate zooming as well. And here are the results. Now it was time to take a quick break from implementing and do a little bit of refactoring. Next, I started working on allowing the user to use the GUI to adjust the food spawn rate. I wanted to create a button where they could enter a food spawn rate and also a little slider that they could slide around. Basically, they could decide whether they want the world to spawn food at a really high rate or at a really low rate. So in other words, I wanted to let the user use the GUI to control how much food the world is spawning. And here are the results. So as you can see, I just slid the food spawn rate slider to the right, which if you look at the little green squares that represent the food, now they're spawning at a faster rate. Now I went back to my tasks sheet and added a new task. I wanted to add a little GUI control that lets you control the speed of the simulation. And here are the results. I've actually done quite a bit of work here that I did not show you. Basically, I redid my whole GUI. Now you see two tabs, a creature tab and a world tab. So basically a better way to organize the GUI. I also implemented that little speeding up the simulation. I made it a slider and I called it time scale. As you slide it to the left, it slows down time, and as you slide it to the right, it speeds up time. And that about wraps up this video. That's about all the work that I've done in the past couple of days on the evolution simulator. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.